Hello, everyone. Glad to virtually meet you all again, and welcome to our today's AITS Tech Talk webinar. In this session, we'll be going through the AVEVA reporting solutions, including Historian Client and Dream Report. So today, my colleagues Yara Youssef and Janine Kota will be guiding us for the coming 45 minutes. So please, you can type any question you have in the question box, and we'll be answering in the end of this session. Now, I wish you to get the maximum value out of this webinar, and I will leave you in safe hands with my colleague Yara. Hi, Yara.
Hi Nader, hello everyone. So as mentioned by Nader, today's webinar will be about AVEVA visualization and reporting solutions. We will start by introducing AVEVA reporting solutions, then we will cover AVEVA Historian Client, its tools, add-ins, and after, my colleague Janine will show you the query, trend, workbook, and report. Finally, we will go through an overview about Dream Report, its configuration environment, and we will set an example on how to create a report. Transforming field data into insights allows organizations to visualize relationships between what is happening on different levels of the industry, departments, and systems. Whereas historizing these data enables the tracking of improvement over time, which gives key insights enabling the management to take the right decision at the right time. AVEVA Historian Server bridges the gap between a real-time high-volume plant monitoring environment and an open, flexible business information environment. It acquires plant data from high-speed I/O servers, DAS servers, OI servers, InTouch software, and other devices. It compresses and stores data, responds to SQL requests for plant data. To visualize the data that is already retrieved and stored in the Historian server, two major solutions will be covered throughout our webinar today: Historian Client and Dream Report. Now I will give the talk to my colleague Janine, who will elaborate more on Historian Client and will show you a demo on its visualization and tools, including Microsoft Excel and Word. Hi, Janine.
Hi, Yara. Thank you for this cool introduction. Hello, everyone. I will start with the Historian Client overview. Okay, so AVEVA Historian Client software, it is a set of applications that maximizes the value of data stored in the Historian server. It allows you to organize, explore, analyze, present your process data in a variety of formats. The Historian Client is divided into 4 tools. 2 of them are desktop applications and 2 Microsoft add-ins. Let's first start with the desktop tools. First, we have the trend application. It is a user-friendly, easy-to-use trending tool of the Historian server data. Second, we have the query tool, which is point-and-click interface for building SQL statements for Historian server. Now, we will discuss about Microsoft Office tools or add-ins. First, we will discuss the workbook. It is a Microsoft Excel-based data retrieval from the Historian server. On the other hand, we have the report. The report, which is a Microsoft Word-based reporting that generates reports, but using SQL queries. Okay, so now, as mentioned earlier, the AVEVA Historian server stores all the data. That's why we need a retrieval method for the Historian client to acquire the data. So there must be a retrieval mode. We will start first with the Delta retrieval mode. In this retrieval mode, only the changed values for the tag in a given period of time are returned. Note that when the value of tag stays constant, the data is not retrieved. Let's discuss cyclic now. In cyclic retrieval mode, here the data is retrieved every cycle or every period. Finally, full retrieval mode, all stored data points are returned regardless of data changed. You can also find another types of retrieval modes, such as best fit, interpolated, integral, average, minimum, maximum, counter, and slope, and value change. Now, Let's jump into our demo. I will start showing you those tools. So now, okay. So I will go first by showing you the trend tool. I will go to the start menu and go to Wonderware Historian. Sorry, Wonderware Historian is a legacy name, but nowadays, into 2020, it's called AVEVA Historian client. So now I will go to trend here. And as you can see here, you can see my server, which is installed locally. My historian server has been installed here on this machine. So that's why it's called localhost. Here you can see my tags. I can pick one of the tags and view them. So let me, for example, check my agitator 1 speed. So I will drag and drop it here into a chart. As you can see that inside the chart, I have 2 cursors, a red cursor and a blue cursor. They can help me retrieve data at specific periods of time, and they can help me compare my data. For example, at 10:38, my speed was 64 RPM. On the other hand, at 11:02, my speed was 57 RPM. Now, you can also change the time zone by using the time picker. You can change the starting time and the ending time and specify the duration also as well. You can have also so many options, so many tools. For example, you can view some statistics. You can view the minimum, the average, the maximum. And not only that, it gives you those values, and at the same time, it specifies at which time those values were obtained. For example, I had a maximum, which is 65, let's say at 10:09. Okay, you have also so many options, such as you can make a data log, you can change the properties. For example, you can change the color, the annotations, you can create an XY scatter plot. So many options in this small tool. So now I will close this tool and I will go to the second tool. Now I will be discussing Microsoft add-in tools. I will start first with the Excel tool. So I will enter now Excel, and I will generate a report, a very rich report. So I will first create a blank workbook, and I will go to my historian plugin here at this menu. So here, and I will make a tag analysis report. Click on tag analysis report. I will create an analog tag analysis report today. You can choose other options that are batch, scatter, but in today's session, I'm going to use analog tag based. So I'll click on next. Now I will choose the server, which is localhost. I will choose my tag that I will be viewing. Let's choose the second one, the second agitator speed, and I'll click on OK. Now, after that, I'll click on next. I will choose the starting time. As you can see, it's almost 12 p.m. now, and it gave me the starting time 1 hour behind, which is 11:10. I'll make this work for 30 minutes. The duration is 30 minutes. So it'll give me data from like 11:10 until 11:40, something like that. So I'll click on next. And now I'll just maximize the number of rows just to make sure everything fits in. Then I'll click on next. Now you can see here, I'm generating 3 plots in just 1 click. I'm generating a plot trend, which is the tag vs time. I'm generating statistics plot, and I'm generating a pie graph. I can specify my limits, the limit 1 and the limit 2. Let me give you a remark here. Those 2 limits, which are trend high, trend low, these 2 limits, you can modify them either here locally or using the IDE. It's when you create the attribute from the object editor. So you have 2 fields you can change from the IDE during your development. Now I'm going to change them here. I'm going to put them 57 because my speed is like fluctuating between 55 and 60. So I'll just narrow the band for my design. So I'll put a 60 here, and then I will generate maximum, minimum, and average. And I'll just 1 click, it will take me right into it. All those data just bursting out, showing you all the information that you're looking for. For example, I can see the minimum, the maximum, the average. And I can see also the plot. during the time I specified. Here, the time range can help me. Let's say, for example, 41% of the time, my agitator speed was greater than 60. 16% of the time, it was less than 57. And 43% of the time, it was between 57 and 60. It's a great comparison, just a click, all this data bursting out. Now, I will close this one to move on to the second one. I'm not going to save. You have the possibility also to save, but I'm not going to save for today. So the final discussion here, I will be discussing the Word plugin, the Microsoft Word plugin. Here, I'm going to use queries, SQL queries to generate a report. So I'm going to create a new blank document here. I'm going to go to my historian a plugin. I'm going to toggle the fields. Toggle the field codes will make me view the SQL scripting code generated, okay, in just clicks. So I will go and generate an SQL query by clicking on Insert Query, and then I will go and bring query form. First of all, I will choose a query type. I want to note something here. This tool query, I can either open it from here, locally inside the Microsoft Excel, or I can open it from the Start menu. So if you go to Start menu, you can choose it from the Start menu. But for today, I'm opening it from here. I will choose history values. So here I'm going to see my history. As you can see, you have other options like live values, a lot of options here to choose from our database. So now I'm going to view my agitator. I just double click on it, my agitator speed 1, and I will change the format. So I will take out the data that I don't need. I will keep description just to see the description of the tag. I will take out all the columns that I don't need, just uncheck them here. So here, and as you can see, every time I'm unchecking something or taking out something, the SQL will change accordingly. So here, as you can see, I have generated an SQL code that you can use maybe in your SQL Server Management Studio. So now also you can change the time, the format, the criteria. In today's session, I'm going to be using wide query format. You can also, based on what's discussed earlier, you can change the retrieval mode. I'm going to choose for today's session cyclic, but you can, as discussed, you can choose delta, full, average, minimum. Let's say you're interested in getting the maximum. So you'll get it. Now I'll just keep it the way it is. Everything's fine. So I'll click on OK. And now I will change the formatting. I will format my table. You can choose whatever format you want. Let's choose anything. Maybe that's a good one. So I'll choose this one, and I'll click on OK. And then I'll click on OK. Then I will toggle the field modes to view my generated SQL query, as you can see. And then I will run my report. I'm not going to save it. So I'm going to say no. And in just a click, you will just check out what's happening here. So it's like every 3-4 seconds, which is cyclic, it's giving me the value of my agitator speed just in clicks. It's just a wonderful tool. I hope you enjoyed that. So I'm going to give the talk to my, I'm going to close this now. I'm going to give the talk to my friend Yara. Thank you, Yara.
So let's jump right into it. Dream Report is a reporting solution that produces rich PDF reports from simple tabular reports to highly graphical reports and dashboards. It includes direct connectivity to process historians, any open relational database, and understands the nature of the high-volume, high-speed data in typical process historians. Talking about the features of Dream Report, it's an easy-to-use reporting solution. The reason for its quick learning curve is that it's not a programming or scripting environment. In addition, it's a very scalable solution with many architectures available with a simple installation from single node to enterprise-wide implementations. So let's take a look at how Dream Report works and what it does. When starting a new Dream Report project, the first thing we do is connect to a data source. This data source could be an existing historical data archive or a real-time data source. Design and configuration of reports is done in the Dream Report Studio environment. Once the reports are built, you decide how the reports are going to get generated. Reports can be PDF or secured PDF documents. The data can be output to CSV files or Excel spreadsheets. Finally, the destination for the reports could be a local directory on the Dream Report machine, a file server, one or more printers, email to one or more recipients, or even sent to an FTP site. Dream Report Studio is a very user-friendly environment where reports are configured. Those of you who are familiar with developing HMI applications will find this to be a very comfortable and familiar environment in which to work. In addition, it contains a rich library of graphical objects for reporting. These objects include multiple chart types, multiple table types, graphical widgets, and images. Dream Report Studio has statistical functions which are built in, such as the typical minimum, maximum, average, standard deviation type calculations, as well as many more advanced functions. It's a template-based development environment in which you can take reports that you have developed, save them as templates, and then apply them to new reports, either within the same project or in a new project. It is important to mention that no programming is required. A full support for SQL queries is available, as well as an internal logical scripting engine. Talking about connectivity, Dream Report currently supports over 70 communication drivers. These include direct access to historians and historical archives direct communications, to HMI and SCADA packages, as well as full support for open communication protocols, such as OPC, Modbus, and PACnet. Dream Report can be accessed on mobile devices through Web Portal, which allows the user to access any report project by simply installing Microsoft IIS on the Dream Report machine. Now, I will show you a demo in which we are going to connect Dream Report to AVEVA Historian and generate a report. So we will start by opening our Dream Report Studio. Just a second. Now we will create our new project. You can also open an existing project or open a project remotely. Our project for today will be webinar. We click OK. Communication configuration wizard opens. So from here we can configure our driver, or we can configure it from the quick launch here, or from the connectivity. So let's start by configuring our driver. We click on Wonderware. In our demo today, we will be retrieving values from the historical values. You could have retrieved values also from the alarms and event. So we will give a name for our driver, AVEVA _ historian. We configure. We have to choose the server name in order to choose the node on which our server is located. In our case today, it's local, so the name is localhost. Regarding the data retrieval options, there are many that are already mentioned by my colleague Janine. For today, we will choose the hourly average. And as you can see here, the unit is milliseconds, so we have to convert from hours to milliseconds. We test the connection. The connection is successful, and our driver is configured. We have to add it, and done for the driver. As you can see, the report is named by default report _0. In order to change the name, you double click on report _0, and we will call it report _historian. Apply and OK. On the right of your screen, you can find all the dashboard tools. In our demo today, we will be generating a report by using 3 dashboard tools: a step table, a chart, and a dashboard. So I will start by building the step table. In the step table, we want to see the variation of the level and temperature with respect to time. So we will need 3 columns. We put 3 columns, and the defined time period, it's by default, absolute or relative. We will choose it for today as a fixed period, and we will be generating a report for the last 1 hour, for example, with a step period of 5 minutes, so the data will be retrieved from the historian every 5 minutes. In the appearance, you can design your table. So the first column will be time, and the column type will be step start time. Okay. The second time will be level, and we can put the unit, which is meter cubed because it's a volume. The type is step data. Now we have to write our object name level. The server is external history server that we have already configured, which is AVEVA_historian. And in order to add our item name, we have to navigate to our galaxy. AVEVA. Okay, so we go to our training galaxy and we navigate until we reach our attribute, which is level_001.pv. Now done. We have to do the same steps for the temperature. Or regarding the temperature, the unit is degree C. The column type is the same, step data. Instead of navigating into the galaxy, I already know that the attribute of the temperature is temperature_001.pv, so I will write it directly. And okay. So do not forget to add your object name, which is temperature. And done for the table. Here is our table. Now we will configure our chart. For the chart, we will be using the same example, which is the variation of the level and the temperature with respect to time. So as you can see here, temperature_001.pv is already here. Now I will go to the appearance. In order to specify the unit of the y-axis, temperature is in degree C, so temperature degree C. And regarding the display options, I want my legend to appear, so I have to check display legend. And my display style, legend. We can put a title for the chart. So let's write variation of level and temperature. And then on the left of the screen, you can see that the item name is empty. Now we have to add our item, but before, let me put the legend, which is mixer 100 temperature. You can also change the color of the line. I will leave it blue, and then I will add the item. Here it is. We will add also the level. We do the same steps, level, and we change the legend. Mixer 100 level. The line style is green. I will choose another color. Let's put it dark red. Okay, and we add our item. Okay. Now the configuration of our chart is done. Let's go to the third example, which is a bar graph. We drag and drop the bar graph. And the bar graph will be showing the variations of agitators 1 and 2 speed with respect to time. So we have to navigate again to our galaxy to choose the specific attribute. Now we go to the plant area, production area, production line 1, mixer 100, agitator underscore 001.speed.pv. Regarding the bar period, I will put it as 5 minutes because I want to retrieve data every 5 minutes. You could have put it other than this, and the report will be generated for the last 1 hour. In the appearance, we want the legend to appear, so we check display legend, and the display style is legend. We will give a title to our bar graph, agitators, speed variation. Okay. And then we write the legend for the agitator 1 speed. And we add our item. We will add also agitator 2 speed by just changing number 1 into 2 and changing the legend. So let's choose another color also. Let's take the yellow. Okay. And done for the bar graph. Let's add the item. Okay. Now we will run our project by just clicking on the left of the screen on Run Project. For sure, we have to save the changes that we have made. Now the Runtime Management Console will open, in which we can generate the report statically or dynamically. So we have to wait just a little bit. Okay. We will generate our report today dynamically by clicking on Open Dynamic Report Generator, clicking on our report. In the dynamic generation, there is 2 options. Either you will use original time period, the period that we have already configured, which is 1 hour. So the report will be generated for the last 1 hour as we have specified. Or you can choose custom time period. By choosing custom time period, you will have to specify the start and the end time of your report. So now it's 12:30 p.m. I will generate a report for the last 2 hours. So let me change the date. It's June 11 today. The start time, I will put it 10:30. And the end time, I will put it 12. Okay, so in the report targets, you can specify which type of reports you want. For today, we will choose PDF, and then we will click on Generate Files. And the report info, you can see the current status is generating. So our report is being generated, and then we open the generated files. Here is the final result showing the variation of our historical values in a table, chart, and a bar graph. The report today was generated manually. So before we close, let me show you how you can generate your report automatically. But before, let me close all these tabs. Just a second. Okay, done. So in order to generate it automatically, you just double click on report underscore historian. You go to generate report on event, and you enable generation on event. In this case, the report will be generated automatically according to an event, a change in the condition here, or a change in the value. Also, the report can be generated according to time. So you can specify the time in which you want to generate your report automatically. For example, every day at 6 a.m. That's it. Now back to you, Nader.
Thank you. So thank you, Yara and Jenny, for this informative session. As we have mentioned before, we are waiting now to receive the audience questions. So far, we received a few, and I will start with the first one. Are we able to run or create a report, especially for the alarms using the word tool? Janine, can you please help me answering this question?
Yes, hi Nader, thank you for the question. Yes, well, of course you can do that. You know, Historian Server also stores alarms, and it has a database for this storing those alarms. And especially in Microsoft add-in, you have the option also to choose, let's say, a query type, to choose and retrieve alarm limits and alarm history. So yes, this is possible.
Great. Type one more here, please. Can I
Yes.
make a template report that can be generated automatically in Historian Client add-in?
Yes, a report template is possible to make. You have the option to save your report as a template, and then not only that, as mentioned by Yara, there's a possibility in Dream Report to create also an automatic report in Historian in AVEVA's Historian Client add-in. Also, it's possible to create an automatic report and to specify the timing also, like whatever time you want the report to be generated at. Yes, this is possible. So a template is possible, an automatic report generation is possible as well.
Thank you everyone for this session. I hope it was very informative for you. And in case you have any other questions, please do not hesitate and write it in the questions section, and we will be replying to you by email. And please don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thank you.